Hey, today I'll be sharing some tips and tricks that I used to get to room 1000 indoors. I'll first be going over some general tips and things that you should know, and then I'll talk about some strats that I used in my runs. First, I'll go over the entities, how to know when they're coming, and how to avoid them. Starting with A60. A60 is like a fast red version of Rush. A60 generally should only spawn after you've gone through room 60. However, the game does sometimes glitch and make the entities spawn way earlier than they should. How do you counter A60? Well, it's easy. As soon as you hear this sound, that's how you know A60 has spawned. And you shouldn't have to worry about needing to rush to a locker, because you have about 5 seconds before A60 actually starts to move, which is plenty of time to find and get into a locker. A60 will only spawn behind you, like Rush, and sometimes you will hear a fake A60, which has the same sound, but the sound fades away after about 2 seconds, and it also plays randomly, which is how you know it is a fake. This is what the fake A60 sounds like. Now, moving on to A90. A90 is definitely the hardest in my opinion, because you get the least amount of time to react and it can end your run instantly. A90 appears after room 90, but it also has the same glitch as A60, where it will sometimes spawn before getting to the corresponding room. How do you counter A90? As soon as you see this on your screen, just let go of WASD and your mouse. Moving anything at all will trigger A90 and it will attack you. If you're lucky, it will do about 95% of your health, but won't kill you. Another thing you should know about A90 is that once it shows up, the other entities will also pause. So let's say for example A60 just spawned, and then a second later A90 spawns. A60 won't move at all until A90 is gone from your screen, so don't worry about having to rush to a locker to hide. A120 is kind of like ambush. It spawns in the room in front of you and makes a loud banging noise on the door, which is how you can tell it has spawned. This is what it sounds like. I could have gone to that locker. It has about the same amount of wait time as A60 does before it starts moving. Once you get into a locker, A120 will go to your location and then fly away. However, it sometimes will have multiple, 2 or 3 cycles, meaning it might come back after it has already gone to you once. So, before exiting your locker, make sure that the sound of A120 is completely gone. Now I'll start going over some general tips. Starting off with a locker and entity tip. The entities will only spawn if there's a room with lockers in the room you've just entered or the room behind you, meaning it will not spawn if there are no lockers nearby. The second tip has to do with the flashlight. In my opinion, you should be using a regular flashlight instead of the green one that you buy at room 000. The reasons why I think the regular flashlight is better than the green one is because 1. It lasts way longer and you can find batteries almost everywhere when you're playing. And 2, the green flashlight gives tiny bit less visibility and it's hard to see where you're going when you're recharging the flashlight. This can lead to you missing lockers and eventually dying because of it. My third tip is to try and memorize the locker locations. Every room has a set spawn for lockers, and memorizing these locations can make it way easier to hide once an entity is coming for you. There's only one room that doesn't have a consistent locker spawn, and it is this one. As you can see, sometimes there will be 2 lockers directly to the left once you enter the room. However, other times the locker will be just to the right of the exit of the room. So if you get this room, make sure to check where the lockers are before exiting. My fourth and final tip for this video is wait a little bit before you enter a locker. And you may be wondering, well, isn't it better to just instantly get in? Well, I thought so too until A-90 killed me multiple times because I rushed to the lockers. Entering the locker actually counts as a movement, and A-90 tends to appear as the same time as the two other entities, A-60 and A-200. So when you see that one of those two entities appear and you're right next to a locker, you should wait a little bit to make sure A-90 doesn't snipe you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that these tips will help you to get to room 1000. Thank you for watching, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.